Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, let's talk about the Lakers. This is our NBA exit interview for the Lakers. Let's start with their grade. What grade did you give the Lakers?
Well, it's got to be like an A.
Yeah, yeah,
Just for getting Luka.
right.
I mean, I guess you technically should just give him A plus, but A for prior to that it wasn't going great, and they have obvious deficiencies on this team, but they got Luka, so you get an A automatically, I think.
Yeah, that's what I have. I just was like, you could nitpick. They got to the fourth seed. I think that's a little higher than I thought they would get, but the sheer fact that they got Luka, it's like hard to argue anything else. I mean, that's the biggest pro of their season, right? They got Luka, and then that LeBron's still playing at a pretty high level for his age. So you got those two things going for you, and you're now going to go in the offseason. I think Reeves looks better as well. That works for them. Any other pros or cons when it comes to the Lakers this past season?
I guess the only con, if you think of Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, I know these aren't star players, but they really kind of underwhelmed. And it's hard to be mad. It's hard to be disappointed that if you're a team relying on those types of
Right,
players.
correct.
I don't know what to expect, but I feel like the rest of the team, for the most part, hit their upper expected outcome in order to get up to the 4 seed, and I guess it kind of showed in playoffs or 3 seed. Yeah, they're 3 seed. It kind of showed in the playoffs that deficiency that could be exploited by Minnesota.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I thought another one that was like, I think a little the Mark Williams trade was, I mean, they kind of got out of that, but like, man, could they have used Mark Williams? Like that was a little bit of a con, but I thought at least the Lakers would have had to give up something. They should have gave up more for Luka, so whatever. And then all the talk of Dalton Connect and how important he was as a draft pick and he's ready to play and stuff, and he barely played in the playoffs. I think that was a little bit of a con. Their draft in general was just kind of a con coming out of the playoffs. The Bronny thing was just kind of a distraction, clearly, and then the Dalton Connect thing, which I'm drawing up plays for Dalton Connect already. JJ Redick. I mean, he was fine, but you couldn't play him in the playoffs, which was a problem.
For sure, it's just one of those. Again, they made it to the NBA. They're good players, but a guy like him, he's going to look good on a team with Reeves and Luka and LeBron if you can just shoot and stand in an area. So, yay, congratulations on that.
Yeah, correct. Okay, let's go into our off-season preview for them. So again, I got what Bobby Marks has up here. So free agents, LeBron's got a player option. Jackson Hayes, I'm sure they'll try to re-sign him. Dorian Finney-Smith, player option. Alex Len, I didn't even know he was still in the league. Morris are the notable free agents, and then their resources for the offseason. They only have a second round pick this year. They have one tradable first and 5 pick swaps that they can trade. And I guess another note he makes is they do have a little bit of flexibility because they haven't hit the first apron yet. So they have some apron flexibility. So what do you see for the Lakers offseason?
Again, the Lakers, I feel, are similar to the Magic, is because of their limited resources and because you now have Luka, who's on a different timeline than LeBron. But you can't trade for Luka and then after a year just suck for 3 years and expect Luka to be happy.
Right.
So I feel like the Lakers, they have to make kind of maybe a win now move. Maybe you could use it to get a younger player, and I think Reeves has to be the one to go because I don't think you can't extend him off of his number. His extension number, I think it's the new CBA is 140%. off his final year, which is 14.9 and $20 million isn't gonna Reeves isn't extending for $20 million. Breaking news. So he's going to get to free agency, and maybe he just wants to stay with the Lakers. But again, in 2 years, LeBron's probably not playing. So
Right.
you're towing the line between getting LeBron to opt out and do his 1+1 again, um, and then getting something impactful because they have a Luca, LeBron, Reeves, Hachimura, DFS, good regular season team. They'll win a fair share of games. But what we see in the playoffs, what we saw Minnesota do to them, OKC would do it probably to a different level. I don't know what you really have as far as getting out of the West.
Yeah, I think that the big problem they're going to have to address is their center position, obviously, but also like their perimeter defense. And that's why, as much as like I was talking to someone about this, is like I understand they love Reeves, and Reeves is like it's like if you really want to make one more run with LeBron and Luca as your main dude, you're going to have to trade Reeves. There's no way you're going to be able to keep him. Um, and he's on a nice deal, and that can help. Maybe even the other team would have to add stuff to get Reeves if depending on who you trade for. But I just don't see how Reeves, Luca, and LeBron being your perimeter defenders on the court at the same time is going to stop anyone. So even if you do get a really good center, you still have a perimeter defense problem. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm imagining LeBron will probably pick up his option and he'll stay one more year with the Lakers, and maybe it'll be his last year in the NBA. Maybe we'll see, but yeah, I think they have a lot of decisions to make. And unlike the Clippers, though, they got some flexibility to do something to maybe get to the where they can be a contender next year in the West.
Yeah, Reeves is the key piece. His salary, because it's low, makes it a little difficult. But I think there's guys like in a lower price range that you could get to kind of toe the line between win now, but also have someone good for a few extra years.
Yeah, yeah, totally fair. Okay, what's your long shot for the Lakers?
My long shot was they take Reeves, the picks, and you can get there with a couple of these bad players and get Bam.
Oh,
Now I don't know if Miami really wants to have Tyler Hero and Austin Reeves, but I, Bam was the one that came to mind if you wanted like a center that was both win now, but also he's on the younger side, so him and Luca could be together for several years.
yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, all I could come up with is working it and LeBron taking some kind of a discount because he has an option, you can kind of fudge the salary cap. In the meantime, would be like doing a sign and trade for Miles Turner, but then you're hard capped against the first apron. But you can work that out by LeBron just having the option dangling out there because you can then adjust his pay to whatever and maybe give him some money on the way out if he retires.
Yeah, do you think they wouldn't trade LeBron if he took his play option, right? That's like the Cavs. No, I saw somebody say like the Cavs need you again, LeBron, after they lost this series. I'm like, that would be funny. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't know. He probably won't have a no trade, but I don't think they would again.
no, I don't think so either. I was just
Teams
kind
don't
of
like to
joking.
do it to players nowadays.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I had a couple long shots. So I don't know how, like Jared Allen, if the Cavs want to move him, that might be an interesting long shot. The problem is with that, it would be mainly like picks and maybe one of like Vanderbilt or Hachimura would have to be in the deal because they're not going to want to they're not going to need Reeves. They don't want to put Reeves next to uh, Mitchell and Garland. Nick Claxton might be an interesting one, I thought, because he's kind of young. He's like 25. He's a solid rim protector and he runs. And I bet him and Luka would have some chemistry. And Reeves might be useful for Brooklyn. And because Brooklyn, they have 3 first-round picks this year, but more importantly, they did not win the lottery. They might look for some young talent like an Austin Reeves. And then just a real long shot was DeAndre Ayton, if they wanted to go that route.
Might be a cheaper option as far as giving up stuff, but yeah, and when you go through these, you can see the challenge that they face. And the Lakers always have a little bit of an edge with the glory and all that kind of comes with LA, but it's a tough situation to balance that because you don't want to totally sell out, like we say, because Luka's probably going to take his extension, but that doesn't stop anyone from 2 years from now going, what's left? LeBron's gone, Reeves is gone, and we're out of picks besides some swaps that we're going to pick in the 20s going forward.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's why I think they kind of have to make a move with Reeves. I just don't. If they want to kind of keep Luka happy, Gafford's another one, right? He could be another one. You just bring him over, but again, I don't think like the Mavs don't want Reeves, right? Like that'd be hilarious. It's like, oh, you could have got him when you picked up Luka, but instead you got to trade another player to get Reeves. Okay, Dallas. Oh, good times.
We'll give you the
times.
first pick for Reeves. No.
Yeah, well, we'll give you Gafford and the first overall pick. We'll pick Austin Reeves off your hand. We got to win with white guards that wear bandanas. That's it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, anything else on the Lakers?
I don't think so.
Okay. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.